Hi, welcome back to my sewing room. If you've seen any of my recent videos or shorts, you would know that I have been super excited about sewing lately. And it feels so good to be motivated again and feeling good again about this thing that we love. And a lot of you have commented that my enthusiasm is coming across in the videos, which makes them more enjoyable for you to watch. And that makes me very happy as well. I think there are a couple of reasons why I have re-engaged and fallen in love with sewing all over again. One of them being I have had some wins. I've had some fails too, but the wins have been wins. I'm starting to make the necessary alterations I need to make for my garments to fit me the way they should. Not always. Sometimes I skip the mock-up and pay for it, but for the most part, I've been making the necessary alterations I need to make for garments to fit me well. I'm learning more about my own body and my own shape and what looks good on me. I'm developing my own personal style. And I asked you all in my last video how you define your own personal style, and a lot of you gave some really cool answers to that question. So if you haven't already, then please feel free to leave in the comments how you define your own personal style. So my style I named Vintage Meets Modern because, of course, I love vintage fashion. I love wearing it. I love sewing it. But I also love modern fashion as well. And if you've noticed in my shorts and videos, I have a thing for designer shoes and purses that I just cannot give up even when I am wearing my vintage style clothing. I still want on this year's newest Louboutin or Prada or whatever. So I am merging the vintage with the modern. And so for this make, that is exactly what we're going to do. I have a 1950s pattern. It's a simplicity pattern 3518 from the 1950s. Not sure if you would call it a suit. It's a dress and a jacket. The jacket, though, buttons down the back, which you've noticed I do have a thing for buttons, but the dress is really cute, a simple sheath dress. I've started to like the slimmer silhouette a bit more on my body shape, so I'm trying to do more of these. Even though I do love the full skirt with the petticoat, I'm trying to do more of the slim skirt as well. So this is the pattern, the dress, and the jacket. And to make this 1950s sewing pattern a little bit more modern, I am going to be using denim. I have never worked with denim before, so this should be fun and exciting. I hope it goes well. I have enough to where if I mess up, we can start over. All of the things. I did get needles specifically for denim, so I think we're off to a good start. I mean, nothing's been cut or anything yet, but I think we're off to a good start. I'm very, very excited for this project. I want to get right into it. I really love the embroidery on this denim, and I think I'm going to be really thoughtful and mindful when cutting out the pattern pieces for how the embroidery is going to be placed on this garment. I've cut out things before with directional prints or something without really paying attention to that aspect of it, and so this time I want to make sure we are paying attention to what is going where on the dress and on the jacket as far as the embroidery is concerned. So that's the project. It's Vintage Meets Modern. I'm very excited. I want to get straight into it, but first I want to say thank you to all of you for your support on my recent shorts and videos. It definitely means a lot to me. Every like, comment, share, every bit of support, it means the world to me, and it really adds value to this hobby that I love and to my life that is otherwise just kids, husband, and a 9-to-5. And so this is really just a good thing for me, and your support is just so appreciated. But also, I would like to extend a very special thank you to my most recent Ko-fi contributors. These are the ones since my last video. So it is Pita and Rayshawn. Thank you so very much for your Ko-fi contributions. That definitely helps to fund these videos that are very expensive. We will do a cost analysis at the end of this video like we did in the previous video, where I show you how much I spent on materials and how much labor and time and all of those things. So your Ko-fi contribution does mean the world to me. If you would like to contribute in that way, the link is in the description. But please understand that if you can't, that's fine. Engagement is support too, and means the world to me as well. Every comment, like, share, it definitely helps push my content, and it gives the interaction that I crave in this solo hobby that is sewing. So if you can't give to Ko-fi, then just engage with this content in some way, shape, or form. So don't forget to let me know what you think about this dress when it's finished. If you like the video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments how you define your personal style or anything else you want to share with me. Introduce yourself if you're new here, or just say hello. And with all of that, let's just get into the sewing of my 1950s vintage style denim dress. This is going to be good. So I got started with laying out the pattern pieces. There were 13 in all. This pattern was in such better condition than the one I worked with in my previous video, but the directions were even more vague. I'm used to, with like the reproduction sewing patterns, they have on there how many you should cut of what, or if it needs interfacing. And with this pattern, for some reason, that information was not on the pattern piece. It was not in the instructions either, but it was in the cut layout, which for some reason I hardly ever pay attention to. Don't really know why. I just kind of lay them out the way I want to and do my own thing. Do other people follow the cut layout? Is this something that I should be doing as well? Please let me know in the comments what you think about the cutting diagram and layout, and if that is something that is important or not, let me know. So after getting everything cut out, I started with getting the marks transferred. I'm working with chalk this time. I really do love my pens, but they pick and choose what fabric they want to work well on, and so this time I decided to use chalk. There was lots of darts because of the dress, of course, and the jacket, and then the soft pleats in the skirt. But here at this point, I am working with the bodice and getting those darts put in. So this is the bodice front, actually, and I started with that and took it to the sewing machine. I will say with this project, I did a lot of things out of order depending on my mood and how much time I had to sew that day. I haven't been having the most flexible schedule, so I'm at least trying to get in an hour a day, and so that kind of determines what part I'm working on. But this is the bodice front, and it looks good, and this is the bodice back, and I just really love the way it drops in the back, the way it's cut. I think it's so cute. So this is the facing. I'm not sure if it's the front or the back. I think it's the front facing, and you'll stitch this edge that will not be connected, just so that it's finished nicely. So I took that over to the sewing machine and got it stitched in, and then I began work on the skirt, which has pleats, soft pleats rather, but either way, if you watch my videos, you know that pleats and I struggle, but I will say as I am doing them more, I am getting better at them and understanding the importance of how proper pinning and stitching and ironing helps to make those pleats lay the way they are intended to. So working with the skirt, the first thing I could do is get all of the markings transferred. And all of the markings in this situation will be very important, and you will see why later. And so I use my chalk to transfer them all and transfer the darts, get those pinned in place, and then I headed over to the sewing machine to get those stitched in. So the skirt has a kick pleat in the back, which I'm not sure exactly if that's what it's called. If you know otherwise, please feel free to share with me. But what you have to do is above the mark, you're going to stitch, and then below the mark, you're going to baste, and then you're also going to stitch it in at the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance like you regularly would. And then after you stitch it, you will remove the basting stitches, and you end up with this really cute kick pleat is what I've been calling it. Not sure what the real term is for it, but I think it's really cute, and it's something that you see quite often on vintage skirts. So any information as to what this is called, why it's done, or anything you would like to share, then please feel free to share it with the crew down in the comment section below. So at this point, what you see me doing is working on what they on the pattern call soft pleats, which are in the front, which I'm not quite sure why me and pleats always have a thing. I do think these come out a little better than in previous makes. I do think it has something to do with the size of my butt and hips and maybe how that pulls on the pleats. So maybe there's like some type of alteration that I am supposed to do that makes room for my butt and hips to not stretch out the pleats in a way that they're not supposed to look. So if you have any insight to that, then share that with me as well. But that's what I did, and then I took those to the sewing machine and got those basted down. So next up is getting the skirt front attached to the skirt back, leaving the left side open for the zipper. I can't remember if it's the bodice or the skirt, but on one of them I confused the left from the right and they end up with the wrong sides open, and so I had to fix one of those to be able to insert the zipper. But at this point, we're just working on getting them pinned in, and I don't see any really cute footage of that kick pleat. You'll have to go and check out the shorts of this make because I do have some in there, and I will make sure I show you in the review because I think it was very important to see how this is and how it works. So after getting everything pinned in place, I took it over to the sewing machine. Next, we work on the facings. We're starting with the facing to the back, and that is what you see here. You had to pin it in place. On the straps, they wanted you to fold one edge down through the seam line and then trim that down to 1/4 of an inch. I am getting more used to this method of facing because in a lot of vintage garments, that's how it works. But I recently watched a video on YouTube of a better way of doing these facings that ended up just like looking neater and cleaner. It was a lot similar to this, but different in some ways. And so I think now that I'm feeling more comfortable with not necessarily following the instructions given by the pattern, I think I might switch up the way that I do these facings. And so this is the back. I got it attached. And then it was time to attach the bodice at the side seams and then those straps that had to be finished. So I got everything pinned in place, which I was a little confused at first if the facing should be up or down or whatever, but I ended up figuring it out and I got that attached, and then you just seen where I pinned the bodice to the skirt, and now we are at the sewing machine with that. The dress was very easy to put together, especially now that I'm like becoming more experienced. I did not have to refer to the instructions as much. Things came a lot more naturally. The order I did them in was in a way that worked for me and made sense to me. And so I was very happy. You see so many clothing changes because it's like different times of the day, pajama time or morning time or weekend times when I'm finding time to work on these projects. And so I'm very happy to either be at a Sunday upload schedule or every other Sunday. I'm committing to every other Sunday, but if something happens in the middle that I can get done, I'll be happy to just throw in a bonus video. So happy for that. So now I start to work on the jacket. It has the front that is one piece and then the back that are two pieces. And so I get those darts pinned in and then also the lines for the center back as well as the fold lines for the self-facing for where the buttons will go. And so now we are at the sewing machine getting the darts stitched in for the jacket. We have yet to begin work on the collar. That is the only thing that is frightening me with this project because collars and me just are always a thing. But for the most part, I can say that this was a fairly easy and fun project with an outcome of something that I would love to wear. So here's my thing. It's like, do I sew these things that are easier to sew that do help develop my skills that I'll love to wear, Or do I try and challenge myself with more difficult things and really just like push myself out of my comfort zone? Usually, in that case, I end up with something that's not wearable. But look here, you still make those mistakes sometimes. I think I am attempting to pin wrong side or right side to wrong side. I wonder, let's see how long it takes before I realize what's happening. Nope, still pinning, still pinning. I do know that at some point I realized that I have right side to wrong side. Oh, I think I switched it. Yep, I did. So now you can see that it's right side together. So I must have fixed that and then cut the camera off when I realized what had happened for a very long time. So mistakes do still happen, especially I've noticed when I am tired or when I get a little too confident. So maybe that's what happened there. So I got the bodice pinned together at the shoulders and side seams, took that all to the sewing machine and got it stitched in place. And we are moving right along. And so far we have had no major hiccups, which I am so very happy about. The next thing we have to do is work on the collar, which is what you know that I have been dreading. So let's hope that the good luck streak keeps up and everything continues to go smoothly. So here is that collar. You have to face it. I actually interfaced both pieces of the collar. I pinned those together and then we got them over to the sewing machine. And so while I was there at the sewing machine stitching the collar together, I decided I might as well go ahead and work on the belt, which is something I had kind of forgot about. And so it had to be interfaced and pinned together as well. And so when I finished stitching the collar, I started to stitch the belt, which you see me doing here now. And then of course with both you had to trim the excess and flip them to the right side, which took me a little bit longer than I would have liked on the belt, but in the end I got it to look really crisp and really nice, and I was very, very happy about that. With this make, there is not a whole lot left to do. I have to do neck edge facings of the jacket, which you see me doing here. I have to do the bottom edge facing and buttons and buttonholes, of course, which we do know that I sometimes struggle with the buttonholes, but I am learning to adjust settings and practice a little bit more before I try to attach them, and that's definitely helping. So you see me here now basting down the collar, and then we will get the collar facing attached. So the collar went on without a lot of difficulty, which I was very, very happy about. Here I am pinning down the bottom edge facing of the jacket, which I have forgot to stitch the raw edge that is not connected. So I do end up doing that later, which I will say is much more difficult when you've already attached it. If you look over a little bit, you can see the buttons that I had already covered. The button situation was a struggle trying to choose. I had lots of different buttons that I could have gone with, but I did want something that wouldn't clash with the different shoes because at this point I wasn't sure exactly what shoes I wanted to wear. I had originally hoped to get these Tom Ford shoes to go with this make. They were denim and beautiful. I can't wait to show you the ones that I did end up selecting as they are beautiful too, but for 2023, the girls are deciding to be more responsible with their coins, and so we did not purchase the $1,400 Tom Ford shoes. We went with some that were equally as cute for much less money. And I ended up selecting two pairs and still didn't spend as much money. And so I was very happy about that. I cannot wait for the reveal for you all to see those and to let me know which ones you prefer. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So here I am stitching that bottom facing on there, and the the jacket was painless, believe it or not. The collar was painless. I only messed up on one buttonhole, which was not my fault. My machine was getting finicky, as it tends to do when it's on its third or fourth buttonhole. So yeah, very happy with this make. So here we are getting those buttons stitched on. And I have never really learned a technique for stitching buttons. I kind of just make it up as I go. I definitely probably should watch a tutorial on the accurate way to sew buttons on, but you know how I am. So got the buttons stitched on. We got the buttonholes put in, and you guys, this make is finished. And now we have another piece to add to the wardrobe that I absolutely love. So let's get into the final photos, but first I want to show you some more up close photos of the finished garment. So here are the buttons down the back. They look really good. This was the only buttonhole that did not go well at best, but we still got it to work. This is the belt, and you just sort of tie it. Look at that collar. Are you guys proud of me or what? And here is that cake pleat, or whatever it's called. I believe it's a cake pleat, but I think it came out really cute. The sleeves look good. I learned to lower the tension when hemming things, and you will not get the waviness. I hemmed the skirt by hand, which I will say is not the best. I think I'm gonna iron it again because that sort of like smooths this out. I need to learn like that blind hem technique. I did my best. Yeah, I want to iron this out a little bit more to smooth it, and so that's what I'm going to do now. And then I'm going to put this on and give you guys some final photos. Maybe I should show you the shoes first. Okay, so these I got from Saks, and I want to say they were like 120, 130 bucks, and they are so very cute. I think it looks great. I can't wait to show you guys the purse that I selected, and now I'm going to show you the other pair. So these are JLo, and I actually got them from this place called DSW, which is a discount footwear house, and I got them for like $40. They are very cute, and I felt they're more like a summer shoe, and we're just not there yet. So like when I wear the dress without the jacket, I think these will be really cute. I think the closed toes were more for like fall or wintry when you are wearing the jacket. Because to me, like a jacket and open toes are like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm a weird person. So I'm going to show you the accessories. It's a Louis Vuitton, and it has a silver strap. And I thought it would be just really cute with the denim shoes. And then I'll show you the purse I want to carry when I do the gold. So here are the other two options for purses. This is like a suede Gucci one, and I thought it would be nice for like if I'm wearing this somewhere fancier or just want to dress it up. And it's got this cute gold strap I thought was cute. And then I have this Christian Louboutin one. I love how they throw the red in there, and then if I wanted to, I could put on my red Christian Louboutin belt instead of this belt, and then it would be really cute. And then the Louis Vuitton, which is also reversible, which was the other option. So in the comments below, let me know your 3 favorites out of the purse and your favorite out of the shoes. And now let's get into the final photos. This dress came out so cute, didn't it? This is it without the jacket. I want to show you the rest, but first I'm going to sneak in all of the cost analysis things. So my cost analysis for this project was 3 yards of fabric at $5 a yard, which puts us at $15. 15 hours at $20 an hour puts us at $300. And then another $11 for zipper and hooks and eyes and jean needles. So which puts us at a grand total of $326. That is not counting the 2 pair of shoes that I bought to go with this dress, because I will wear those multiple times, and it was not just for this project. So I feel like it's okay to leave those off the cost analysis. So all in all, this denim dress and jacket was $326. True, you can buy a very high quality dress for $326, but it wouldn't be made by you. It wouldn't be tapered to fit you. It wouldn't be as fun. Do I think it was worth the $326? I do. I hope you do too. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to see what's coming next. I thank you for watching. If you would like to contribute to my next project that I think is going to be a very in-depth vintage reproduction that requires a lot of yardage, then the link to my Ko-fi will be in the description, and any amount that you can give definitely helps. If you can't give in a monetary way, then you can give by giving this video a thumbs up, a share, or leaving some form of comment, because interaction is support as well. So with all of that said, thank you. So now let's get into the final photos. I absolutely love this dress. I love the tie belt. I think it is adorable and yet simple. I love that I chose denim. I love the covered buttons down the back. I think it's just really cute. I think this can be really dressed up or dressed down. Here I am in those J-Lo shoes wearing it that I like very much, but that are just a tad painful. This is the Louboutin purse that I selected to go with this version of the outfit. And then this is the Gucci one that I selected in case something different. These are the pumps that I really, really like with the Louis Vuitton purse. I think I prefer this look. With it all together, you're going to have to let me know in the comments which look you prefer. But I think this is my absolute favorite with the denim pumps and the blue Louis Vuitton purse. I think it's just adorable. I think this dress can be worn many different places in many different ways. I love that it was made out of a vintage sewing pattern, but looks nothing like a costume or even vintage really, minus the collar. It looks still very current, and that's definitely the look that I'm going for, the vintage meets modern. So very happy with how it came out, and I hope you like it too. So let me know in the comments. And here is one more glance at the dress minus the jacket, and I will see you in the next one that is soon and sure to come.